Good morning, chaps. We're out for a little ride again around the side of Goodwood racecourse. You see these grey lorries are the television vans. They usually got big satellite discs on top of them. But the purpose of this little ride today, got pheasants around. The purpose of this little ride today is to do my modifications part 2 video. So we'll find a place to stop up here, nice and quiet, and we go through the second part. I've also changed my mic and I'm wearing a full face helmet. I haven't worn one for nearly 8 months now. So I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic at the moment and I haven't got a clue what this mic sounds like. So you can see, cutting through the woods in West Sussex again. You know, it's amazing, this is just what, 10 minutes off my doorstep. Yeah, the purpose of this ride, as I was saying, before my battery died, was to show you the other modifications done for it. A dead rabbit. There should be somewhere up here I can stop. It's a shame we can't go through this forest, but it all belongs to Forestry Commission and it's a big no-no for the law to go in there. I would love to. I feel very jealous of these people you see in America going off country into the forest and that. There we go, let's park up here. Ooh, that hurt. Right. What we do, get the other camera out and see what's going on. Right, now I've got the other camera out, we'll have a good look again. Now, what did we forget last time? Oh, there we go. I've fitted preload adjusters. You have to cut your spacer sleeves down about 10mm to fit them because they're length inside. And to be honest, I've got mine screwed down so there's 3 circles showing, and it does firm up the rear quite well. Especially if you've got a brake hard, it doesn't dive so much. On the road it's more comfortable, and off road it's even better. So that's out there, what, about 10.50. Next we go to, I've got a Xander GPS come phone holder. Bought that direct from them in India. You can't see much of it these days because I've got my GPS and charger on the clinker. But that's a dead straight fit. They were having a sale and I got that for £14 delivered. As we go on, right, my next purchase for the bike was as you can see there, a chain oiler. Now look at the name. That's it. It is exactly the same as a Cobra. They cost anything up to £100. This £14 from AliExpress, delivered in 2 weeks. I contacted the seller and they confirmed that it's made at exactly the same factory as the Cobras, just got a different name on it. So there's a bargain, and it works perfect. As you go down, you can see my chain's nice and oiled, and what I've done is I've actually hidden it under there, under the chainsaw, so if you can just see it under there, I don't know if you can see it, it just comes out on one side, but for some reason it actually always both sides, and it's just rubbing slightly on the rear sprocket. And all you have to do is turn that quarter turn, and it gives you about 300 miles, up to 300 miles, depending how much you turn it, but quarter turn is advised, and you get 3 minutes of oil going in the chain, which, to be honest, I've usually used old gearbox oil before, which is very mucky. In this one, I have no oil spread across my back wheel or spoke, so I'll go. That was a good little bargain. The other thing, come down. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I've got a cheap Chinese cool cover copy, about £3, and it works. But I think I've mentioned that. I go around here and I've got my little bag. In there I've got CO containers to blow my tyres back up, some patches, talcum powder and things like that, in a bag that was just in a sports shop. I think it was about £5-6, and all I've done is put a little plate under it and just bolted it on there with some old brackets I had. Love it, and it turns out to be waterproof. The other one I've done, I can get down there. There, I've got a tube. It's a 3-inch drainage tube, one cap and one pressurised drainage cap on the end. And you just tighten that up and it goes tight. In there I've got things like spanners, tyre levers, things like that. As you can see from my trip in France, Alligator Bay, which I recommend going down to. It's just for St Michael's Mount, my little 75 D-Day. Right, so I think that's the, oh yeah, an rear GoPro mount, which I use a cheapy little £15 one, and it seems to do the job. If you do like modifying your Himalayan, I do recommend you look at the Himalayan. It's an Australian chap. Give him a bit of metal, a bit of tubing, and he does wonders. Go and have a look at his channel. I recommend that as well, because he's done some fantastic modifications to his bike. So there's a shout out for you, Put. Over in all, how have I liked the bike? I was a bit worried at first when I bought it, as I thought going from a 1050 a Tiger down to this, you know, the power all be gone. But surprisingly, it's not. I can use this to its full power, where the Tiger you couldn't. Also, the Tiger is very, very heavy and tall. I had to have a seat cut down on that. But this, you can play right up to the rev limiter. The Lester Harris frame is, well, you could do anything with that frame, and it doesn't wobble. It'll handle till its limits. The front and rear suspension is made by Gabriel. There's a well-known car suspension manufacturer. Mine's on, I think, number 6 at the back, so I'm a heavy sod. But that, with the adjusters, does a good job. Oh yeah, one other modification. I don't know if you can see in there. There you go. A mud flap. It's a £2 mud flap. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie, I pay 50p more, and there is a Royal Enfield logo on it. Just bend the metal that come with it around and 2 bolts, and as you can see, I don't know if you can focus in properly, it keeps the spring spotless. You can go down somehow in there, you can see all the mud that's collected on the swing arm. It just stops it, and it's a perfect job. $2.50, and it saves your shock. Right, so that's it. I'm going to sign off, go for a little ride, and as I said, I do recommend you browsing the Himalayan, sorry, for the modifications. And well, until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye. Alright, what we're going to do now is just continue our little ride through the countryside. I probably won't say much to stop spoiling the views, but I may see things now and then I'll mention. So off we go. I'll get the wasp out of the way. Beautiful views of the South Downs there, with the mist on the top. The walks around there, over the hills, now it's supposed to be beautiful, but probably haven't mentioned before, I've got a gammy leg, so I'm disabled and I can't walk that far. And that's one other reason I'm selling the Triumph as well. I can't hold it up with my leg. So you may wonder why I've always got my panniers on. Not only have they got my waterproof kitting and bits and pieces, they've also got my fold away walking stick. So you can ride. You can ride a bike if you're disabled. I'm sure there's something coming there. I was a cyclist. Yeah, and I haven't got much grip in my right hand either. So I've been quite happily riding bikes for 10 years like that. I don't know if it's down to experience before, because I've been riding about 35-40 years before that, but it doesn't seem to impair my riding at all. There is a young lady I know who I meet sometimes. Well, I don't know her myself, but I do see her at one of the bike ports, and she's got MS, can hardly walk at all on sticks. But she rides a CBR 900 and can ride anyone off the road. The way she rides is fantastic. just to mention, this is Stain Street. It runs from Chichester right up to Guildford, and it's one of the original Roman roads they built. I don't know if it looked like this, but it's not very straight to me, and I thought they only built straight roads. There's a lot of ruins they found around here, marble falls, and there's a place called Bignor, which it was a Roman palace there, and they dug up and restored bits and pieces of the floor and things like that, which is interesting, and they make a nice cup of tea as well. And there's also another place in the other side of Chichester that's found another palace there with lovely mosaic floors. What you won't notice about this hill, because the camera's never shown properly, this is a very, very steep hill. You're on your brakes more or less all the way. Excuse me. It's called Duncton Hill. That's a nice little viewpoint if you want to look over the other side of the South Downs. Gets very crowded at the weekend there, people parked up. Turn off there. There's little villages down here and old houses. Make sure the car behind me ain't going up the rear. No, right, go. Oops, back end slip then. There we go. I love these little back lanes. We haven't got much gravel tracks, dead squirrel tracks down here, so this is the best we can get. Down there you have the trout fishery. Very expensive, I think it's £40 and you're allowed to keep one trout. That's what I've been informed as anyway. I like doing my fishing, but I prefer river fishing. This gets very slippery in the wet weather, and as you can see there's some gravel on the floor in the middle, which a couple of times I've spun back wheel on there, bit in error. The old Tudor buildings here, where they've been preserved. Barrington Stud, very well known horse stud there. I don't know if anyone else has found out on the BS4, as the more miles you go on, the more throatier the silencer becomes. It gives it a nice thrap sound. So I was thinking of changing it to an aftermarket one, but I quite like the sound of it. I can't work if it's a thrap or a fart. Another old Tudor country house. I don't know if I would like to live down here, especially in the winter, with the snow on the floor and there's no shops around here or anything. I think it could be out of an old movie where the people get murdered and no one finds them for 6 weeks. As you can tell, the roads aren't very well looked after down here. Let's put it in third, give it a... just take the stress off it. It's 90% farm country around here, mostly agricultural. There's the odd, as we saw earlier, sheep and some cattle, but that's it. I've lived in West Sussex for over 20 years now, and it wasn't until I had actually bought the Himalayan that I found these little little villages and little side tracks. You know, and you're cruising around. Look, I'm doing 30 miles an hour, probably 35, 40 maximum on these little lanes. And if I think I was on a bigger bike, well, I know when I was on a bigger bike, I would have blasted through these. And I would have missed all the countryside and the beauty of the flowers when they're out. So that's why I think the Himalayan is perfect for these lanes. Merely all today is a little ride, a Tuesday ride out, because next couple of days apparently it's going to pour down and the temperature's going to drop quite a lot. So I'll make the most of it today. I've been out 4.5 hours so far, just pottering around little lanes, having a little refreshment here and there. What else would I be doing? Sitting indoors, decorating again, sitting down watching daytime telly, which is boring. I don't really want to know who's knocking off who on these programmes, who's seeing whose wife, who's not. It doesn't really, you know, I've got no particular interest in it. So I'll rather be out for what? Oh, I want to go down there. Go down here. Who wants to sit indoors all day watching that when for £9 worth of petrol you can get out and about, fresh air, see the countryside and enjoy yourself? I don't think this is the lane I wanted. Quite narrow, and it looks sort of familiar. Oh yes, I know where I am. There should be, hopefully, some donkeys in this field up here. It doesn't look like it. Must have gone in. Oh, there they are. And we'll pull up here. I'll turn the ABS off, because it is very gravelly up here. Let him come down so I get a fair straight ride at it. Most of this land belongs to a massive private estate. Don't push it too much. Whoa, whoa. Get over it. That's it. That was slippery. Let's go. This is called Bignor Hill. Whoa. Get up there. I've done a video of going down that way. It is very slippery. It's all white chalk, and with the standard empty 60s on, or 90s, whatever, no, 60s, there's just no grip from front wheel or back wheel. So you're going down there about 3 miles an hour, the max. Honestly, dragging on a bit, but I've nothing to do. You might want to sit there listening to me babble on and just see the countryside. It's funny, I only started this a few months ago. I seem to have subscribers from Australia, India, America. You know that, which surprises me, because I would have thought, little Joe Blogs here, mumbling on about his Himalayan and going around the South Downs and doing some off-road wouldn't interest many people abroad, but it seems to. Which, you know, the subscribers, I appreciate them there. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to show people of my countryside, my area. And I enjoy doing them. You know? I don't expect and I don't want to make money out of them. I just want them free. The actual editing now I've decided to do takes up more time than the actual riding. I'm a tight gear, I only use free editing, Windows free editing. Right chaps, so till next time, I'll give you a quick view before I go. I've come down that track a couple of times. A bit of damp on it and you skid everywhere. But it looks quite smooth, but it's not, it's quite bumpy. So there we are, my favourite place, Bignor Hill, on top of the South Downs in southern England. So I'm signing off, until next video, ta-ta.